Hello, my depth year friends. And how is everybody doing? I'm really enjoying watching everybody's videos about their depth year and how it's going. And I haven't done a video in quite a while about my depth year, so I thought I would do that here. Um, so, as a lot of you know, actually, I was kind of thinking about this. I think I was kind of forced into a depth year. It wasn't a plan. It was just something that happened. Most of you know I lost the love of my life in the middle of November, and I've kind of been working with grief and everything else. And then I had to throw a move in there, and I'm not gonna, rehash all the sordid details, but um, come to find out, the biggest thing in my moving was the fact that when I originally moved into this house, when my love and I moved into this house, we moved in very quickly. And so we just kind of put stuff mishmash where it would fit. And we got so busy just living our lives that the time never came up to actually put things in their proper place or to do any kind of so-called decorating or anything. And so the whole house was just a mishmash of stuff. And then when I moved in to take care of my mother before she died, and then after she passed, caring for my stepdad over, still at their house, I realized that I had stuff, but it was all over the house. Some of it was in the bedroom, some of it was in the den, a lot of it was in the garage, some of it was in the kitchen. And when I kind of got forced into this, all right, let's go deeper with the stuff that we had instead of wider by making all of these purchases, the light bulb somehow went on in my mind, and I realized that the reason I had so much stuff was because no like items were in the same places. I had kitchen stuff that was in my kitchen, but I also had kitchen stuff out on my porch here, and then over at my stepdad's house, I had kitchen stuff in the kitchen, but I also had kitchen stuff in the garage. you know Same thing with my witchy items and my tarot decks over at my stepdad's house. They were in my bedroom, they were in the den, they were in the garage, they were in the kitchen, they were kind of all over, not in one place. So when I actually came to move, one of the things I started doing was putting all the like things together so I could see them all together. And then it really hit me just how much stuff I actually had, because it was all in one place and I could see it all right there instead of being broken up into small bits throughout the house. So that kind of made a huge difference in my ability to declutter. It also didn't hurt that my neighbor, who has been by my side from the start, is very much, she's not a minimalist, but she doesn't care for a lot of clutter. And so she was kind of that little conscience in my ear. She's like, do you really need another spatula? How many spoons do you actually use? Those kinds of things that, really made me think about the items I had, and was I using it enough to really keep it, or did I just want to keep it because I liked it and I thought it was pretty? So she has definitely helped make my home more functional. And I have to admit, now having like things in the same area has made a tremendous difference in my life. And it has really helped me focus on the items that I have and not make me feel like I need to go get the next biggest, most wonderful thing out there, which is, very much what I used to do. I was like, oh, I need that. Oh, that's shiny. I need that. Oh, think of all the things I could do with that. And then I get it and it never gets any use. And so I'm definitely thinking differently about that. Um, a lot of my money also went into making over my house because I know some people, after a loved one passes, they have a hard time changing anything about the house. And a big thing in helping me deal with my grief was I had to change everything. Nothing in the house is where it used to be when my Andy was here. I changed everything. Now, there will be a place for him in this house, always, always. There are things of his that, I'm intending on putting in a specific area just for him. But I'm decorating the house the way I want to because I still have to go on living. And I know myself well enough that I can't live in the past because it will consume me. And those are some of the things that you find out when you're dealing with grief. Now, I don't want this to be a grief discussion, but it has, through the loss of my love, it has brought me this depth year where I'm really looking at myself and my real needs and not just there's an empty space on the counter, what can I fill it with? I'm learning things about myself, such as I really think a lot of my purchases were to fill the hole left by when my mother passed 2 years ago. I really think that's what kind of jump started my tarot collection. It has since transformed into a very true love and a passion. But I think the start was to fill up that hole that was missing when I lost my mom. So, but as I said, it's been a learning process, and I've enjoyed really going deep with what I have instead of wide. It's funny, things come to you. I've finally figured out that I don't have to keep up with the Joneses. Before it was always having to keep up with who's got the latest, next best, awesome thing. Whether it be a kitchen gadget, something for the home, witchy, tarot cards, whatever. I had that feeling of having to keep up with the Joneses, and I don't have that anymore. I have a much more of a sense of satisfaction with what I have and making purchases more based on my needs than maybe a bunch of wants. Same thing with the tarot decks. Now, I have not purchased, I think I've maybe purchased 2 mass market decks. I got the Divine Feathers Oracle from Alison Denicola. I just love her. She did the Mudras decks, if you're interested. And I use those for my meditation, the Mudras decks. And then I got the Ancestral Path Tarot. Those are the only 2 mass market decks I have purchased because I just, there's mass market decks, so I have plenty of time to get them when I want to get them. I have continued to back indie decks on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. But I'm not so sure how much of that I'm going to continue to do, because there's been some issues and some trauma around the creators, and how communicative they are or are not being with us, the backers. So ice cream truck outside. Anybody want ice cream? Anyways, so that's pretty much how my depth year is going. I think it's going, for me personally, um, it's going really well, and I'm finding it very rewarding. And my library is almost finished. I just need to put my desk together, but it's big and heavy, so I need some help. And once I get that done, I'll be so excited to really get in and focus on all the decks I've collected. So anyways, that is my depth year, and I look forward to where we go in the next 3 months. All right, guys, tons of chakra love to everybody. Bye.